But look, what did it take for us to get to the point of an apology? We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse. And by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with it.
It is the show that people love to hate.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
They get so much hate watching and hate watching viral clips of them saying ridiculous things. I mean, it is a rabies-infested hen house.
And the reason they felt they needed to do that, Jesse, is because if they told their audience the truth, that when gas is the most expensive it's been, flights are super expensive, that 5,000 kids decided to spend a weekend in summer traveling across the country to go hear from conservative speakers, maybe the audience of The View would think twice about all of their ideas. That's why they felt so compelled to try to smear our wonderful summit this last weekend.
Yeah, they have nothing else to talk about. Maybe you should get the lawyer that worked on that Covington Catholic school case. What was that, a $200 million?
A $100 million lawsuit against The View has sent shockwaves through daytime television. But what pushed Charlie Kirk, founder of Turning Point USA, to take on one of the most watched talk shows in America? And how did Joe Rogan's savage takedown of the hosts expose a media giant's reckless smear campaign? This isn't just a lawsuit. It's a full-scale reckoning that could change the face of media forever. The View has long been a battleground where conservative women are shouted down and silenced. Remember Meghan McCain or that outspoken reality star from Survivor? They were talked over, laughed at, and dismissed. This is no accident. It's a deliberate pattern. At the heart of this culture is Sunny Hostin, a woman widely seen as smart, even brilliant, but trapped by an ideology so rigid it blinds her to any viewpoint but her own. She's not dumb, far from it, but she came in with an agenda, and that agenda shapes every word on the show. This ideological capture means the show is less about conversation and more about confrontation. It's a bizarre mix of shouting matches and staged chaos, all designed to entertain, but built on a foundation of smears and silencing dissent. The conservative voices that appear are often tokens meant to be yelled over and dismissed. It's a spectacle, but one with real consequences. When The View chose to attack over 5,000 young people who had traveled from all across the country to attend Kirk's Turning Point USA summit, they crossed a line. These weren't just any attendees. They were students, passionate about conservative ideas, eager to learn and engage. Instead of fair coverage, these young people faced wild accusations and labels that could follow them for life. The show painted these teens as extremists and criminals without evidence. It was reckless and cruel. The backlash was swift. The legal threat Kirk issued quickly escalated into a thunderous $100 million lawsuit. This wasn't just about money. It was about sending a clear message. Smear campaigns on national TV have consequences. The View's so-called apologies were cold and calculated, more like a PR strategy than real remorse. It wasn't regret that forced them to say sorry. It was panic as a legal storm loomed. Kirk made it clear this fight wasn't about him. It was about protecting the students who were unfairly dragged through the mud. It was about holding a media powerhouse accountable for reckless words that can ruin lives. Then, Joe Rogan entered the fray. Unlike The View's scripted lines and fake applause, Rogan spoke raw and unfiltered truths. He called out the show's hypocrisy, exposing how they silence conservative voices while dressing up their opinions as facts. His sharp critiques connected with millions who had grown tired of the same old media spin. Rogan didn't just mock the hosts, he turned their staged drama into a symbol of a broken media machine desperately clinging to control. The View made a critical blunder trying to embarrass Rogan on live TV. Sunny Hostin accused him of believing in dragons, an absurd claim based on a misunderstood, lighthearted conversation with a wildlife expert. Rogan quickly produced the video proof, exposing Hostin's reckless smear live in front of millions. That moment handed Kirk's legal team a powerful new advantage and deepened public backlash against the show. As the lawsuit heated up, the media battle grew more intense. The View's elitist attitude and disconnect from real audiences fueled a growing revolt. This wasn't just a clash of personalities. It was the old guard of mainstream media versus a new wave of independent voices. Podcasts, grassroots creators, and fearless truth-tellers were rising, speaking directly to people tired of filtered, scripted shows. Rogan and Kirk stood united, shining a spotlight on a media system that once believed it could smear anyone, anytime, and simply walk away unscathed. The bigger picture is clear. This lawsuit threatens to usher in a new era where careless defamation on live television has serious legal consequences. Shows like The View will no longer be able to throw out wild accusations without proof. Words on air carry responsibility, and the microphone is no longer a weapon for reckless attacks. It's a tool that amplifies accountability. It's important to understand the world behind the scenes. Many TV shows rely on paid audiences to guarantee reactions and energy. While shows like Letterman built natural fan bases over time, The View's core audience often includes immobile or otherwise captive viewers, not the passionate grassroots supporters a genuine movement would have. This manufactured energy contrasts sharply with the genuine enthusiasm seen at events like Kirk's Summit, highlighting the media's growing disconnect from real public sentiment. This lawsuit isn't just a legal battle, it's a thunderclap, a warning shot fired at every TV host who thinks being on camera gives them unlimited freedom to smear without consequences. If Kirk wins, it sets a precedent that defamation is not free speech, that dragging people through the mud on live television will come with heavy consequences. Newsrooms everywhere are watching, because if The View falls, a new era begins, one where every word spoken on air is just one slip away from a subpoena and a courtroom showdown. This conflict is a microcosm of a larger cultural war. Media outlets often operate in ideological bubbles where facts are bent to fit agendas. The public has grown increasingly skeptical of such bias. Joe Rogan's rise illustrates a hunger for unfiltered, grassroots truth. His role as a bridge for many disillusioned young people shows the shifting media landscape, where old institutions like The View face declining trust. For the thousands of students unfairly labeled, for anyone tired of media spin and fake outrage, this case is a beacon of hope. It signals that the public will no longer tolerate reckless smears and character assassination. The roar for justice is growing louder, demanding respect for truth and accountability from those who wield microphones on national TV. The View, once a staple of lighthearted daytime chatter, now stands scarred as a symbol of a media war it never anticipated. Joe Rogan didn't just flip the script, he burned it and handed the ashes back with a grin. When real truth meets inflated arrogance, truth doesn't just win, it roars. This lawsuit marks a turning point, a call to every media personality. Words have power, and with that power comes responsibility. The era of reckless smears without consequences is over.